Broadfork Farm is located in River Hebert, which is in Cumberland County, Nova Scotia. Our farm property is about 15 acres, of which we produce vegetables on about 4 acres.
We sell our produce primarily through the farmers market in Dieppe, New Brunswick, and we also sell to a few health food stores and a handful of restaurants.
I got into farming because I wanted a fairly active job. I liked working with plants, I liked being outside.
I became really interested in health and nutrition, and so I studied nutrition, and then after that I decided that I wanted to learn more about farming. I feel that I can be the best nutritionist by providing healthy food for people.
I grew up in the suburbs of Kitchener, Ontario, and through a chance encounter I heard about other people who had done internships on farms in the area, and I thought that sounded like a really good opportunity and something that would be of real interest to me.
I went and apprenticed on a bunch of farms for about 7 years. As I was working on farms, I was figuring out what skills I still needed to get, and that was how I was choosing the farms that I would apprentice at next. And so I would seek out farms that were more interested in teaching me about marketing and about financial profitability and about record keeping. I was kind of able to slowly accumulate all the skills that I would need to run my own business.
Originally, when we started looking for a farm, we thought we wanted something in a 40 to 50 acre range is what was ideal for us. And kind of as soon as we started looking at farms that were that size, we found that they were a little out of our price range at the time.
The biggest priority for us was really the soil. And so every farm that we looked at, we would first take our shovel and dig into the soil. We were really looking for a sandy loam because that was the type of soil that we were most used to managing on the other farms that we worked. When we were originally looking, a lot of these properties that were in our price range didn't have very nice soil.
It would have been ideal to find something that was completely flat. Having a farm that has a little bit more of a rolling landscape allows for some opportunities, but definitely has its challenges.
Water was a pretty big concern for us, the access to water. The farm that we had been leasing, the well had run dry during our season and we had lost quite a few plants from lack of irrigation.
Having a nice house on the property wasn't something that was a big need for us at the time. We wanted something that we were able to live in.
We wanted to certify our farm as organic. We were looking for a farm that wouldn't require too long of a transition period. We were excited to find land that hadn't had anything applied to it that wouldn't be acceptable under the organic standards. We found a real estate agent who knew about properties in the country that could show us properties in our price range. Most of the properties that she showed us were not suitable at all.
Our neighbor, 2 doors down from us, had heard about us through workshops that we had done and thought we might know of some young new farmers that were looking for land to farm. As soon as we looked at the listing for the farm, it sounded like it had all of the features that we were looking for in a farm. One of the biggest things that drew us to this place was the fact that we had a relationship with the former owner, that it was kind of a process of getting to know her and getting to know the land.
For this property, the pros outweighed the cons, and we also had a feeling that we really liked it. So then we asked the Nova Scotia Farm Loan Board, and we were really banking on our previous experience and our well thought out business plan to be the 2 factors in getting a loan.
One of the things that came with the property when we bought it was this really large barn that we don't really use or need as a vegetable producer. Some of the challenges is that it has a crumbling foundation. Overall, it's pretty much more of a liability than an asset for us right now. Buying a farm that hadn't actually been actively farmed in quite a while, there were a few outbuildings that weren't in good repair at all that we had to take down. There's a few junk piles and other things that we've had to deal with as a result of that. So we were fortunate to have a north-facing porch where we were able to close off a portion of it, insulate it well, and install an air conditioner which is hooked up to a CoolBot. And what a CoolBot does, it tricks the air conditioner into thinking that it's actually warmer in the room than it is, which makes it much cooler. And you can get it down to just above 0 degrees Celsius. It was a challenge to find a site on our property that was level enough to have a greenhouse on. The greenhouse itself is 24 by 100, which is the largest that we could put on the levelest land. We wanted it as big as possible and sized it to fit that area.
So we are actually thrilled by our decision to purchase this property. We didn't know very much about this area when we moved here. Some people expressed concerns about how easy it would be to market and make a living. However, none of those challenges have been hard to overcome.
I want Broadfork Farm to be a place where I'm continually inspired to do the work that we're doing, as well as to be able to have the lifestyle that we want.
We try to maintain a balance of work and then also enjoying the beautiful place that we live.
It was definitely nice to know that farmers were behind us in wanting to find a farm. That we always had people telling us about farm properties that were available. And I think that's a huge asset in Nova Scotia, that farmers want farmers around them. Farming allowed me a chance to do something creative and active and kind of everything that I wanted out of a job.